welcome back everybody. Today we're in the greenhouse, gonna be planting some goodies in this ground. We had onions sent out to us, and we're gonna be planting these in the ground right here in the greenhouse for two reasons. One, it is -5 outside. However, the indoor temperature of this greenhouse is 20 degrees as of now, and it's very warm in here. The soil temperature is really nice, and before these start rotting or anything like that, I gotta get them in the ground before they turn bad. Some of them are already turning bad, but you know, I'm gonna plant them anyways and see what happens. So that being said, the first step in this greenhouse that I want to do is turn over all this soil and loosen it up and get rid of any roots that that are still sitting in here from the previous owners and the previous plants that they had growing in here. So a really quick, simple way of doing that is you take this Kimberly sized shovel, and what we're going to do is I already started, as you can see, so it's a little stiffer on the other side, but I'm only doing this area right now because we still aren't sure what we're going to be doing with the rest of the garden, or sorry, the rest of the greenhouse. So being that we're going to use these as chives for your salads or cooking like that, and we can grow these year round, we're going to put them right here at the front door of the greenhouse, so that way we can just come in anytime we need some and pick some up. So with that said, what you want to do is start turning this over just to loosen everything up. You don't have to go all the way down, but get it turned over. If you see any of these roots like this, or any of this hard soil like that, you want to break that up just so that the roots can penetrate into the ground a little bit easier. So all this organic matter, you can take all this stuff, so you can see that I've pulled out quite a bit already. Now, with all that organic matter there, you can put that into a composter if you have one on at your place, and use it next year as fertilizer in your garden again. So you just don't want to have too much in your way. You want it the roots to really be easy to grow in the ground. So just loosen it up as much as possible. You can also take one of these here and just kind of rake through and see if you can get any long pieces or turn anything over. So sometimes it looks like a root ball, but it's just actually just hardened up soil that you can just break apart. And I think this is looking pretty good as of now. There's really not too much. Here's a couple more roots that I can pull out. And kind of just run it through your hands, crushing everything up. Some people like to wear gloves doing this. That's fine. See, and you can notice it's a little dusty, so I could open it up here because the soil is really dry. However, for something small like this, it's really not going to bother me. Alright, now I've took out all the weeds out of the little bit of soil that I turned over there. So all this is going to be going in the compost. And we'll use it up for next year. And now what we want to do is plant in this garlic here. So as you can see, they do have roots on them right now. So all those roots, they're gonna just continue growing. Even that one there, she's starting to grow there a little bit too. A little trick I'd like to show you guys with these is, when you see a cluster like this, you don't want to plant, hold on, let me separate this here. You don't want to plant this whole cluster all together because in this one cluster you have 4 separate onions in there that you can plant. So what you want to do is you want to separate all that, and all you want to do is just pull them apart, and the roots, they come with it. So yeah, I put them in the shock right now. for a little bit, but you can do that. You're going to put your plants into shock either by doing this, or if you have plants that you clone with, you're going to shock your plants no matter what, but they are resilient and they do recover. So all you do is typically just pull like that, and you get a little bit of roots with each one that you pull across, and then one more like that. And then what I like to do is pull that skin off so that it's not inhibiting the roots from growing, and I can toss that into the compost as well, and just keep on foot. Onions like this is they don't take up a lot of space, so you don't need to use a lot of space in the greenhouse itself to grow them. And all you do is when you're ready to eat some, you can either pull them right out of the ground, or you can just nip them off here wherever they're sitting out of the ground, and use that in your salads, and then they keep on growing. Now that you have all your onions separated and a little root coming out, you're ready to plant them. And what I like to do is work from my furthest point and closer, and they don't need much. You can just go ahead, make a little hole, stick them in there, cover them up. Another hole. And you don't need a lot of spacing with these, because they're not going to grow big in the ground. They're going to grow height-wise, and they're going to get a little cluster there. And if they do ever grow and it seems like they're not doing well, you can pull them out, and then there will be a bulb. You can separate that and go plant them somewhere else, or eat the whole thing. Another benefit of planting them in like this, you don't have to start from a seed and then transplant them outside, or plant them right in the ground here, and then you have to water them daily and kind of tend to them more, and they're more fragile when they're in seed form too. So this really bumps up the growing season and the speed at when you get to harvest. So if you ever get a chance to grow onions from an actual plant, it's much better and faster than starting from seed. Shout out to Mom for sending me these onions. That way that I can get this done in a hurry and get some onions in my belly. So we're going to continue going through, planting them every so often here. If you don't have a greenhouse in your at your place, you can always start them indoors by a window, get them going in there, and then when the soil is ready outside, you can just transplant them outside too. But for onions, from what I've experienced in my growing history, is they're best left done outside and not to be bothered with. But yeah, anyone out there watching, if you have any input on your growing and your successes or failures and the ways you've tried, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you've experienced starting onions either by seed form or like this, and which method you prefer. Alright, now I've got them all planted in here, and the next thing to do is just to water them down and let them hang out for a couple days. You don't really have to do much after you give them a good watering. You don't want to do it too light at the beginning, because you want to drive those roots down into the ground. And I have these raised flower beds that are probably about I'd say 2 feet deep. So you want to give them a good water, and I'm sure the soil down underneath here is dry. I went down probably 10 to 12 inches just with the shovel alone, and the soil's bone dry. So you don't have to worry about overwatering them, because the water will soak up all the excess moisture, and then the roots have more of a pathway to grow as well. So we'll give them a good water. Alright, there you have it. Our onion's done, watered, ready to go. I'm going to take the extra roots, toss them in the composter, and come back in a couple days, check on them and see how they are. Other than that, there's not much to it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and leave us a comment, question, or any tips that you have on growing your own onions, and your methods, and what you prefer. Do you prefer a seed rather to a clone, or do you prefer a clone rather to a seed? Let us know why in the comments. Till next time, we'll see you later. Thanks again.